Negotiating a real estate deal in the Los Angeles area is really complicated, but here are 7 techniques that you can use to negotiate the best possible deal, whether you're buying or selling a home here in the Los Angeles area. My name is Felipe Crook with eXp Realty, and I've been a real estate agent for over 21 years. And I've used a lot of these techniques to get the best possible deals for my buyers and sellers when I'm negotiating a contract for them. And it's really important to understand your real estate agent's negotiating style if you were going to buy or sell a home. If you were looking for a pit bull that just rips apart the other side, well, sorry to tell you, that is definitely not me. I know a lot of agents that are like that. And if you want a referral to work with somebody like that, I'm happy to connect you. But if you want somebody who is kind, who will look out for your best interests and give you the best possible negotiation, I'm your guy. I know so many of you have had crazy negotiating stories. I would love to hear your stories in the comments down below, whether it's good or bad, because I always learn from every single negotiation, and it's important for me to keep learning every single day. Let's get into the 7 techniques that I use to help my buyers and sellers get the best possible deal for homes here in the Los Angeles area. Number 1 is a simple and easy one, but you have to understand the other person's perspective. If I'm representing a buyer, I want to ask the listing agent as many possible questions about the seller's motivation. Are they getting a divorce? Are they moving in town? Are they staying in the area? Are they moving out of state? What's their time frame? What's the most important thing? Is it price? Is it closing costs? Is it the terms of the deal? Do they need to lease the property back? I ask so many questions that some of these listing agents get a little bit annoyed with me, but it's so important for me to understand why they are selling. What are the trigger points that are going to help get my offer accepted over other offers? Because right now we are still in a seller's market. And for example, a listing that I just took in Highland Park, we had 4 offers on it. We are still getting multiple offers on properties here in the Los Angeles area because our inventory is so low and the buyer demand is so high. Even with 7% interest rates, things are moving very, very quickly. So I want to know as much as I possibly can about the other side so I can tailor the offer based on what they need and still maintain our goals of getting you the best possible price. Number 2 is a big one, is preparation and research. Obviously, you need to make sure that you're working with an agent who understands the local market. If you listen to national news, you might think something completely different than what we are actually experiencing on the ground here in Los Angeles. The LA real estate market is a completely different beast than what you are seeing in other parts of the country. It's not comparable to places like Ohio or Nebraska. We are a major market and we have our own little ecosystem of real estate here that defies a lot of national headlines. It's really important that when you're working with an agent, they provide you the local data that will give you the best possible information so you can make an educated decision on your deal. Whether you are buying or selling, you need to understand the local market. Are there new developments that are happening? Are there recent sales that really drive the price up or recent sales that drive the price down? Are there certain aspects of the property that are not permitted? All of these things are research-based that you need to understand. You need to work with somebody who can really prepare you to get you the best deal. And this goes right along with number 3, which is setting proper expectations. If you are working with an agent who really understands the local market, your local area, they can provide you information that will help set your expectations properly. If you working with an agent who doesn't really understand the local market or is not really data driven, they might give you information that could cost you thousands and thousands of dollars on both sides. The worst thing that could happen is that you are not in sync with what is actually happening in the marketplace and your expectations are completely different than what is actually happening in the field. Number 4 is the classic building rapport and trust. Building rapport and building trust is very hard in a short amount of time. And often when you are doing a real estate transaction, sometimes you will not meet the other agent in person. Sometimes it's all over email. I use a great tool called BombBomb. This is a video email program that I use with every single buyer, and I know it is super effective because every time I do this, I get a response from the listing agent that says, wow, this is a great presentation. But every time I submit an offer for a buyer, I attach this video. I'm going to show you an example right now.
Hey, David and Ron, this is Felipe Crook from eXp Realty. I am giving you a quick overview of my client's offer over on Las Palmas. They're a cash buyer, really sweet couple. We're offering 1.825 million in cash, 30-day close, and an 8-day inspection.
The reason why this is so effective is because it puts a name to a face and it humanizes my clients. Oftentimes, when you're dealing with the other side, you don't know what they look like, you don't know what they sound like. All you can see are numbers on a page. But if you hear a video and you see somebody talking about your client and how I present myself, first of all, they're going to know that I'm professional, that I'm technologically savvy, that I'm a nice guy, and then they will understand a little bit more about who my buyer is. That will have an incredible impact when you're dealing with 10 offers on a property. You definitely will stand out. Video is such an effective way to build trust with people. Just like you see me on YouTube, people start to see me over and over again. They start to like me and they start to trust me. Same thing with listing agents or buyer's agents. If they see my face and they can see me talking, they will end up liking me and trusting me more. So this is an incredibly easy way, an effective way to build rapport and trust with the other side. Number 5 is effective communication skills. Now, I've worked very hard on communicating because I wasn't the best when I first started. But now I really understand that the best way to communicate is to ask open-ended questions. Often when somebody has an objection to a term that you are trying to negotiate, that's not the core issue. The core issue could be something else, but you don't know that unless you ask open-ended questions. What's the biggest concern about this for you? How does this scenario work for you? What are your biggest fears about this? These are some open-ended communication questions that will really help you get to the core of the issue so you can address it. If you don't address the other side's objections, you're not going to get a deal. Number 6 is concessions and compromise. Every single negotiation will have some sort of concession or compromise between one party or the other. It is really important to be able to say, okay, this is important to you. Well, this is important to me. I'm going to give you a little bit here if you can give me a little bit there. That is one thing that I think I do really well is negotiate on those concessions because I want to make sure that we're negotiating from a place of strength and not a place of, well, burn the whole house down, because that is not the point of negotiations. And it really, really pisses people off when you try to do something that's so outlandish and so crazy on one side, they just end up shutting down and the negotiating process goes out the window. So it is really important to be able to compromise and have some kind of concession when you're negotiating on that. For example, we had a $17,000 repair request on a property that I represented a buyer. They had 11 other offers on this property and I was able to negotiate that. But I was a little bit concerned that we weren't going to get any kind of concessions out of the seller. But I went in really, really strong and with a high number, and we were able to get something out of it, which was really happy for my buyer, considering that they would have just gone to the next offer in 2 seconds. So compromise and concessions are really important, and you can still get what you want and still be a nice guy. And number 7 is closing the deal. If you don't ask for the deal, sometimes it won't happen. You want to make sure that you summarize each party's terms that are important to them. And then if everything is agreed, close the deal, sign the deal, and make sure it is on paper. That is one of the things that a lot of people just have a hard time asking for. Get the signature on the contract. That is one of the most important deals. Otherwise, you don't have one. If you're looking to buy or sell a home here in the Los Angeles area, I'd be more than happy to help you out. You can click on the link down below and schedule a time to chat with me. Make sure you like and subscribe if this was helpful for you. And you can also text or call me at 213-268-6832. My name is Felipe Crook with eXp Realty, investing in your dreams.